Islam doesn't teach you to blow up a building.
Right.
That's a fact. It doesn't tell you to, first of all, if you take your own life in that religion, you're punished for eternity doing the act that you did. 1 out of 5 people is Muslim. If they were all terrorists the way some of us were treating these people in the U.S., we would have had a much bigger problem than 9/11. I promise you.
Isn't it like it's like almost tied with Christianity?
1.8 billion.
It's like
it's scheduled to surpass Christianity because of birth rates.
Right.
Okay. And what's sad is that Christians and Muslims actually have more in common than anything else. They both believe in Jesus. They believe he's the Messiah. They believe he's coming back to earth. Muslims even believe in an Antichrist the same way Christians do. The only difference between a Christian and a Muslim is that Christians believe Jesus was God or a part of God through the Trinity. Muslims say, no, God is one. Jesus was just another line of the prophets. He was created the same way Adam was created. Adam didn't have a father or a mother. Jesus was created the same way John the Baptist was created. John the Baptist's parents, based on biblical scripture, didn't have intercourse.
How did you learn about all this?
I've studied theology for 25 years, my friend.
What do you think the biggest misconception is of Muslims in the United States?
When's the last time you've ever seen a movie in Hollywood that ever portrays a Middle Easterner as a good person? You've never seen a movie that makes an Arab look like a good guy. Ever. Name one.
Yeah, you're right.
So what I'm saying is you've been programmed to view these people as hostile. You're talking about almost 1.5. It's like 1.5 to 1.8. I mean, who really has a clicker that can count every single? I never understood where they get these like numbers. There's 9 billion. Do we really know there's 9 billion people? I mean, do we really know?
Yeah.
There's countries where they don't even have census. You know?
Right.
So you've been conditioned to look. I always say, meet people where they're at, man. You know, when these horrible things happened, there was a lot of people that did a lot of extraordinary work to build bridges between these communities. One of them is Hamza Yusuf. This is a guy that converted to Islam. His original name was David Hansen. He's the founder of the Zaytuna Institute out in Burbank, California. An amazing human being who's built bridges between all communities and faiths. He was present during the burial of Muhammad Ali. Him and I believe the guy's name was, I forgot. My brain's fried here, man. But my point is, it's when conversation breaks down. It's when you give voice and put people under a microscope and you're focusing on the worst element of them. 1.8 billion, you know?
Yeah. Basically the propaganda was we just applied the ideals of a couple guys in a cave to an entire enormous religion, a vast body.
A guy that we supported and trained for a long time. I mean, we got to tell the whole story, bro. Right?
That's a long
guy that we
story.
armed.
That's a long story.
You know? So like, it's like, let's look at the whole picture. But I saw instances where like they were misquoting, you know, verses from the Quran.
Who was misquoting verses?
Mainstream media.
Really?
One was like, kill the infidel, strike their necks wherever you find them. Yes, that does say that in the book. But guess what?
It says that in the book?
Yeah. But they're not talking about Christians. And in that passage, God's not even talking to the Muslims. He's talking to the angels. That verse that they loved using in the mainstream media about how they need to kill the infidel, Christians were not considered infidels in Islam.
Who were they talking about?
They were talking about the other pagan Arabs that were trying to destroy the Prophet Muhammad, who was bringing monotheism, who was telling people God is one, believe in Abraham, Moses, Jesus. These are all prophets of God. These people are praying to statues and a million different gods. They're the infidels. They're the pagans. So in that verse, they were at a battle, if I'm not mistaken. It was called Badr. It was the Battle of Badr. And historically, they were outnumbered 3-1. So the first Muslims were outnumbered 3-1. And God says in the Quran, he commands the angels, go and support the forces because they're outnumbered. And I commanded the angels to strike the infidel. He wasn't even commanding the Muslims. And they use that verse in the mainstream media to make you think as an American that the Muslims are coming to kill you. But I'll give you a quote that it does say. Speak kindly to the Christian, for they are the closest to you in faith. Amongst them you will find men of reason and education. That's in the Holy Quran. When's the last time you saw that on the news?
Never.
So how are you going to judge? Brother, I've had so many conversations about religion. Most Christians don't even know that Jesus spoke Aramaic. They don't know that the word for God, pull it up, I dare you right now on Google. Type in language of Jesus Christ. Do it right now on Google. Show me what power. I'm going to show you how dumb we are as a society and how far away you are listening to this right now, how far away you are from any concept of reality, truth, or being. So what was the language? There it pops up. Now, here's what I want you to do. Let me blow everybody's mind now.
Aramaic.
Aramaic. Now, the language is a Semitic language. The Semitic languages are Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic. They're cousins, like I mentioned earlier. Latin is Portuguese, Italian, Spanish. Semitic languages. Now, I want you to type this in. Aramaic, word for God, and watch what pops up. And let me teach you a lesson.
The Aramaic word for God.
Well, if that's the language of Christ, I should know. Now, what's the first search result? Read it. Say it. I know it's hard to say it. Say it.
Alo-o.
Where's the search result coming from in blue?
Allah.
Oh, Jesus Christ in his own language called God Ilah. Ilah, Allah. It's not a name. It's a cognate. So in Hebrew, it's Elohim or Ilah. In Arabic, it's Allah. It's a word that's the same in 3 languages. It's not a name. Al means the. La means God. It's the same word in the language of Jesus Christ. But during 9/11, all you heard people saying in New York City was F these Muslims and F their.
Yeah.
That's called ignorance, where they would realize they have much more in common than they don't, and that they're being perpetrated against each other. No one wins in conflict. Nobody wins in war. Muslims and Christians and Jews are brothers. They're cousins. The fact that they fight each other is a disgrace. You cannot fight a Christian or fight a Jew and call yourself a Jew, a Muslim, or a Christian. You're neither. You're nothing. And if this group of people could just figure this out already, that's half the world, brother. That's half the world right there.
Right.
You cannot kill a Christian and call yourself a Muslim. You cannot kill a Muslim and call yourself a Christian. Period. I don't care what kings did and emperors did. Your relationship with the Creator is between you and God. And you have the book. And if you don't know how to read, then learn how to read and you make your own opinion. But this should show you just how little people know about their own faith. And they want to talk to you about Islam or Judaism or Buddhism. So when you're ignorant and you're getting all your opinions from news and from this and from that, what do we have left to talk about? I can't even sit at the table and have a real conversation with you because you're not on my level. How are you going to talk to me? I have people, I want to debate you in religion. You don't know your own religion. How are you going to debate me? I'll quote your book left and right. You can't quote mine. So that's the whole point. You got to meet people where they're at. So when you're dealing with someone that's dumb it down. When you're someone that's on your level, then you have the conversation, because unfortunately, most people can't even handle it. Knowledge is very powerful. Information is very powerful. The way you get it. The first question people should ask is, where am I getting my information from? Who's the author of this? Who's the one telling me who am I listening to? Let me read their biography on Wikipedia, if that's even accurate. Let me see who they are. Right. Because information has the power to do amazing things. Or when it's used, we saw what it did in World War II when people are getting the information from a guy with a little mustache who brainwashed the nation to wipe out millions of people. Information is so powerful. You need to know where you're getting it from. Where's the source? Where's the proof that this is accurate? So I just wish that when these things happen, people would say, you know what, let me go down to the local mosque. Let me talk to the guy. Is this what you guys believe? Instead, they were pulling out poor Sikhs out of their, they're not even Muslim. They were pouring them out of their cabs and beating the living crap out of them. Some of them even got killed. Just because the stereotype is a beard so this is ignorance, man.